Hi there, I'm Rex King. Welcome back to another episode where I review films currently in theaters. Today I'm talking about Violent Night. Violent Night was directed by Tommy Wirkola and stars David Harbour as Santa Claus, who, after doing the same shtick for thousands upon thousands of years, has finally grown tired of the Christmas season, believing that greed has ruined the holiday. When he stops at one family's house that turns out to be a rich, dysfunctional family, who ends up getting robbed by this group of thieves led by John Leguizamo. It's up to Santa to try to save the day. The film, I was not expecting a ton out of it. I was really expecting some light comedy bits and some decent action. I was pleasantly surprised with what I got. I really feel like this film hits every point perfectly, for the most part. Um, a lot of people are going to compare this film to Die Hard, in which a lone person has to take on an entire group of gunmen without much resources. And though the basic premise and setup does feel like Die Hard at times, I do feel like this has a lot more going for it than just being your average Die Hard ripoff. I believe this film uses the Christmas season and the um, Christmas decor and everything to do with Christmas a lot more than what Die Hard does. For Die Hard, though I believe it's a Christmas movie, it felt more like Christmas was part of the setting in the background. Where here, every scene has Christmas integrated in some way or form. And it's not just because Santa is our main character, it has to do with the way the settings are designed, the way the action is choreographed, the references, and the way they use Santa lore in this film. And I really enjoyed that. So I don't think it's your average Die Hard copy. I do believe this film has more going for it in that regard. And I really feel like this film was a surprise. I mean, the comedy works really well and the action works really well. Now, there are some small pacing issues in the beginning, I feel like, when it's trying to set up its social commentary angle of commercialism versus the innocence of the holiday. I feel like they went a little too hard at that at the beginning of the film. Um, and I feel like it was a little unnecessary at times, but I understand why they did that. Now, another problem I have with this film is the writing of the characters. All the characters are written, for the most part, as one note and forgettable. There's nothing really interesting about any of the characters that make them three-dimensional, with the exception of three characters. Trudy, played by Leah Bradley, uh, John Leguizamo's character, who's named Scrooge in the film, and Santa Claus himself. All three of these characters are written really well and do feel like three-dimensional characters. Now, that's not to say that the performances aren't spectacular, because I think the performances are amazing in this film. Even though the characters are written as one-dimensional, all the actors do an amazing job at elevating their characters beyond that. And they all are fun to watch in the film, and I really do enjoy the performances, especially that of David Harbour. I think he does a spectacular job as Santa Claus in this film, especially the more disheveled, I've gone tired of this shtick Santa Claus that he's playing in this film. And I really enjoyed him in this movie as that particular version of Santa Claus. Um, then we also have the visuals, which are also really well done in this film. Like I said, this film uses Christmas to the absolute max level that a film like this can. And I really enjoyed that. Like, there's not a moment in this film where you don't feel like it's Christmas. And that works for the film's benefit. And all the action is decently paced, it's decently choreographed, there's blood everywhere. I really enjoy this film and the way it looks and the way the story moves and the performances in the film. I really do enjoy this one. At the end of the day, I'm going to give Violent Night a 7 out of 10. If the characters were written a little better and the story towards the beginning was paced a little better, I feel like I would have enjoyed this film just a tad bit more. But at the end of the day, this movie only had to be entertaining, and at the end of the day, it was. So, that's what I thought about Violent Night. What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And here's a question for you. What is a Christmas movie that you've seen in theaters that you really enjoyed? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you next time.